Hi guys and welcome back to my third channel. I feel like I want to do cooking videos as well as this for the third channel because I got that object permanence thing right where if I'm not directly looking at something, no longer exists in my mind. And I actually have loads of like Rachel Oates, she got me this vegan cookbook for like British classics, like there's a Jaffa cake recipe and stuff in there, and I just thought, why don't I just do that, make it into content. Also, it's a business expense, but I'm just like cooking food. Brilliant, right? Also, I'm a lobotomite, right? There's this new, this ain't sponsored, there's this new documentary show thing on Netflix and it's following Tyson Fury, right? Obviously, I've heard of it. Of course I have. Don't live under a rock. But I think I do actually, because watching it, yeah, and it's introducing the family and stuff, and it's like Tyson Fury, blah blah, and then it's like Tommy Fury and his and his fiance Molly May. I'm like, what? They're brothers. And my boyfriend's watching it with me. He likes boxing, and he's like, shut up. No, you knew their last name is both Fury. You knew they were brothers. Like, what do you mean? And I was like, I thought that Tommy Fury was just paying homage to Tyson Fury. I didn't know that they were related. I thought it was either a homage or he was like just copying him and he wanted to be Fury as well. I don't know how I remember to breathe. Anyway, today's video is an Am I the Arsehole? So let's just get on with it, shall we? Am I the arsehole for demanding respect from my dad I liked her, not really, daughter-in-law? And if she can't, then get the fuck out.
Here we go! Here the fuck we go! Here the fuck we go!
I'm a young MILF. I'm only 39. I read that as young mum then. Right, I'm a young mill. I'm only 39. I had my kids pretty young and I'm very lucky that my husband makes a lot of money so I don't have to work. Good for you. I was a stay-at-home mum for a long time, and once they started to spread their wings, instead of going to work, my husband and I decided I'll be a homemaker and be active in the community. That's what I've been up to, and I tried to make the community a better place. Now, my oldest son, 22, married, and I was really excited until I met her. In general, she is a very business-focused person that is very blunt. I actively dislike her, but I try to be polite for my son's sake. This has been called Not the Arsehole. Let's reserve judgment. Let's wait. A few examples why I don't like her. Her wedding gift I handed over saying it was from me and my husband. She responded back with, just your husband, says, oh, okay then, yeah, she's, okay. Since I know it wasn't your money that paid for it, yeah, just say thanks. Next time, just say thanks. Who cares? The husband could have robbed a bank and then technically it's not his money. Who cares? Accept the gift. Saying I'm volunteering, well, that's not a real job since it doesn't make money. Oh, that's just rude, isn't it? It's passive aggressive. That's not passive aggressive, love. That's passive aggressive. That's aggressive aggressive. That's just rude. I have thought of doing this volunteer thing where you help young kids read and then I keep forgetting to do it. So this person's a better person than me unless by volunteering they're like, I don't know, kicking puppies. And yes, I had talked to my son about it, and even once with her to try to clear the air. We had a get together last night and I made a homemade meal. When I was playing everything, she came She came up and made the comment, no wonder I can make a home-cooked meal. I don't do anything else with my day. Do you know what? It's so rude, right? Because sometimes like making a home-cooked meal for a bunch of people takes hours. I mean, obviously I have a job and I do bits and stuff. But when I'm making like my world famous vegan spaghetti bolognese, right? I'm not going to say that anymore. My spag bol, right? Spag bowl, whatever it's called. And I'm making the garlic bread and you have to like cook the garlic a little bit first and then mix. It takes hours. So if someone was just going to throw that in your face, it's just a bit rude, isn't it? I lost it and told her she needs to respect me or get the fuck out of my house. She was shocked and started to cry when I did kick her out. My son is pissed. We had a huge argument. He called me a huge asshole. I need an outside opinion. Not the arsehole. Not the arsehole. Not the arsehole. How on earth could your son be justifying this behaviour? He says it's cultural, but this woman was raised in the same country as me and is of the same race, so I don't know how it's cultural to be a dick. Depends what culture, I guess, because if you're British, it kind of is cultural to be a bit of a dick. No, but not the arsehole. Absolutely. Like, what a waste man that younger woman is. Like, what's it... Like, what's it to me if some people are stay-at-home mums or some people work? Like, what is it to me or to you? Nothing. Mind your business. Am I the arsehole for telling my wife off after getting our daughter to cut her hair off even after being told not to? My wife is currently battling cancer And one of the things she's told me she's struggling with the most was losing her hair. She's been given a near 100% chance of survival since we caught it early, but the chemotherapy has destroyed her hair anyway, and she had to shave off what was left of it a few weeks ago. Not long after that, she suggested we attempt to get our 17-year-old daughter Anna to do so. Oh, stop. Anna has very long hair that she has put a lot of care into it, so I felt it was appropriate to ask her in private if she wanted to, would be willing to do such a thing. She told me she didn't want to cut her hair, and I figured that would be the end of that. However, yesterday they came home from a girls' shopping trip, something they do every so often, and Anna had a buzzed haircut. That struck me as odd after what she said. So after dinner I talked to her, and she told me that my wife had said she would never forgive Anna if she didn't show her support by buzzing her head. Why are some people parents? What on earth? Isn't it a form of abuse as well? Well, it's a form of abuse to like shave your kid's head to punish them. I mean, this is coercion, really, isn't it? I asked if she was happy about it, and she said she wasn't. And she's 17. This is so mean. When I went to bed, I brought up with my wife, and she said it was Anna's choice to or not. I just told her how I'd see the situation. What a narc. Not everything's about you. Like, someone's haircut isn't about you. I told her off, saying she needed to respect Anna's personal choices, and that 17-year-old being against shaving her head wasn't exactly out of the ordinary. However, my wife simply said it was to show support for her. I've been sleeping on the couch since. I love my wife. I understand she's going through something traumatic. However, her attitude comes off as very manipulative to me. That's not behaviour I feel I can personally accept. I'm not sure if I can move past this, continue the relationship. Am I the arsehole? No, not the arsehole. I would ask one thing. Has she done something like that before, something that manipulative? Because if it's a pattern of behaviour, then why are you married to this woman? But if it's the first time in the 17 years she's had this daughter that she's forced the daughter to do something the daughter didn't want to, I don't know about looking past it, but that's definitely something to mull over. Everyone on Reddit loves being like, divorce, straight away. Not the arsehole, divorce. Who am I kidding? I'm always like, dump them, divorce. But there are some things that you can kind of talk through. But I don't know. But if I was that 17-year-old, I would not trust my parent ever again with anything. So I think that bridge is broken. And then I guess as a father, yeah, I'm just talking round in circles here. What do you guys think? If she is unable to deal mentally with her disease and treatment, then she needs professional help, not to manipulate and coerce your daughter into make a choice she didn't want to make. There you go. Yeah, I think the dad needs to support the daughter because that's very odd behaviour. Would I be the arsehole if I don't change my son's name even though it may cause him to lose an inheritance? I, 24, got pregnant while I was taking a gap year travelling. I met an older man, nothing gross. I was 19, he was 23. Older man, 19, 23. We had fun. I was working in a bar to make money while I explored his city. When I got pregnant, he lost interest really quickly. I understood, but I'm pro-choice. I chose not to terminate. I went home and had my son. I also made sure to get child support. He could afford it. He did fight it though. I had to prove paternity and everything.
But the kid is not my son. Woo!
Through that, his parents found out. They are well off. They have met my son and they truly do seem to love him. They have provided gifts for his birthday and Christmas. They helped me with extra money so I could complete my university without going into debt. They have taken us on vacation with them so they could spend time with him. They aren't my biggest fans, but we are cordial to each other. 3 months ago, my son's father passed away. He got drunk at his bachelor party, tripped on the sidewalk and hit his head, and that was all she wrote. It's quite a callous thing to say about someone dying, innit? My son and I attended the funeral. We spent a week in that city so his grandparents could see him. They approached me with an offer. They have no other children or grandchildren. Their son was only 28, so he had lots of time to provide them with legitimate kids. They did not say this, I'm just assuming. So they never thought about my son's name. They said that if I changed his surname to theirs, legally they would make him the primary heir. I think this is dumb. He is their only grandchild. They would deny him an inheritance because of his last name. I said I would consider it to be polite and have left it at that. I actually have a pretty good life as it is. My family has been very supportive. And because of the whole court thing, my son's father had to have life insurance with him as the beneficiary. It would be nice for my kid to get a big sum of money, yes. Do I want him to have the surname of a man who didn't want him to see him or love him? No. I've been talking to my family about it and a few of them think I'm an asshole for giving up this kind of money for my son. It is generational wealth and I'm making the decision based on emotion. I think they're assholes for thinking money is the only thing that matters. I mean, what country do you live in, babe? Because, you know, I went to Tesco's the other day, right, to buy some things. Box of tea bags, bit of milk, almond milk, whatever. Bought 5 things. 5 things. It was £18. It was literally just like, oh, milk, bread, jam, like stuff. Stuff. Not like single use or single serving stuff, but 16 with the club that I was always sick. How are people meant to live? Have you not heard of the cost of living crisis? No, money's not the only thing that matters, but right now it's pretty up there. I think I would tell my son's grandparents they could talk to him about it when he is 16. He'll be old enough to understand the implications, but young enough not to be tied professionally to his last name. They've been called the arsehole. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to have to read the comments because I'm not sure why they've been called the arsehole here. Because if they can talk to him about when he's 16, he can make his own decision. What's wrong with that? You're the arsehole. F that dude, but you're also kind of screwing your kid by not changing the name. That money is your child's future, and guess what? They'll probably want it regardless of y'all's beef. If they find out, that could also wreck y'all's relationship. Get the bag. I completely understand not wanting him to have the name of a man who did not want him, but being practical, that's a lot of money if that's all they want. We're talking about generational wealth. Also millions. I would change my name to anything they wanted if someone's going to give me millions. Yeah, I mean, arsehole feels like a strong word, though this is the sub. Am I the arsehole? Arsehole feels like... Because, I mean, I get her point. I guess she is doing it for pettier reasons. His paternal grandparents did want a relationship with him, have helped out. So the last name is also yeah, I think it's about broadening your perspectives, I suppose. So the last name is also tied to people who do want him in their life. You're looking at it as though they will totally deny an inheritance because of his last name, but they didn't say that they would exclude him altogether. They said that he would be the primary heir. Maybe that means without the last name that all property will be sold and all money will be split among family members, charities, etc. But if he has the last name, all those properties and most money will go to him, little split another. Yeah. You think you can wait until he's 16? That's 11ish years away. What if something happens before that? Yeah. How do you think your son will feel if he finds out about the... Yeah. I mean, what would happen? The grandparents pass away before your son turns 16. Can decide he could lose a very generous inheritance because of your resentment of his father. His grandparents being voted... Yeah. Arsehole feels strong, but you are the arsehole. Let your son become a millionaire, please. Probably the only way you're going to be able to afford a house these days. Am I the arsehole for telling my sister that she knew what she was getting when she settled for my cast-off ex? Ooh.
Here the fuck we go.
It's always wild to me when people fuck people their siblings have also fucked. Okay. If you had told me years ago that I'd be in this situation, I would have laughed it off. But here we go. My boyfriend suggested I get an outside perspective here. I, 26, was dating James, M, 26, for most of college, and we had plans to get engaged after graduation. 2 months before graduation, I caught him planning to cheat. Nothing physical seemed to have happened yet, but he and another girl were making plans for a weekend that he told me he was going for a quick home visit. Cheating is an instant deal breaker for me, so it was over. Instead of having a fight, I didn't say anything, just waited till he left for home, texted him proof that I caught him, and said, "Good thing you're single now, have fun," then blocked him when everything, went for a girls' weekend with friends. James lost his shit and spent a month trying to get in contact with me or guilt friends into helping him. The few messages that got through, I trashed without even reading them. After a while, I thought he'd finally given up. About a year later, my sister announces that she wants to bring her boyfriend home to meet the family. We didn't realize she had a boyfriend, but my parents had a BBQ, and told her to bring him. It was James. Well, he's obviously done that out of spite, innit? Come on. My parents were stunned but tried to pull it together. I just left. My sister called and tried to explain that they had met at a party on campus. It was no big deal since I broke up with him. Okay, sure. I told her I thought she could do better, but she could make her own mistakes. Fair enough. I just wouldn't be spending time around them. She got mad about it because our parents took my side. I don't believe the whole parents should never take sides if the children are both adults and someone is doing something that's clearly morally objectionable. Why would you want to be with someone who treated your sibling like shit? Why would you want to be with someone who's been inside your sibling regardless? Whatever. I don't get along with my sister at the best of times. They probably both did it, I'll spite them. So avoiding them wasn't hard except at holidays. My parents caved and let him come to Thanksgiving and Christmas since they seemed serious. Simps. James seemed way too invested in getting back on my good side when he was around, and apparently made my sister jealous because she started acting brattier than normal. This last weekend was a milestone birthday for my mum, and I thought it would be a good chance to introduce them to my boyfriend Todd. Mum gave it the okay, and Todd actually made a great impression on the family. James was there with my sister, and he was pissed and left early. My sister called me later and yelled at me for upsetting James and trying to make him jealous to get us. How old is she? She sounds like she's 14, not 24. I told her that she knew she was getting a cheat when she decided to date my sloppy seconds, and he was no longer my problem. Since then, she's blown up social media venting about it and is refusing to see my parents for the holidays if Todd and I are there. My parents think she's over the top and acting out, but she's on their case so much that they want me to try and smooth it over and apologise for calling him sloppy seconds. I think it was an apt description. I hate in these Reddit posts when the people always want you to smooth things over as if it's your responsibility, as if you're the one that's caused the problem. They always want you to smooth it over, for the sake of the family, or some genetically arbitrary crap. You'll know my thoughts on that kind of stuff anyway. The parents need to get a grip. So is she. Your sister is a brat and a loser, and so is that James guy. Screw them both. And that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, remember to like, comment, subscribe. I upload on this channel whenever I feel like it. Let me know what kind of content you'd like to see on this channel. The clown world, I want to do some chaotic cooking videos. Don't look over there, it's a mess. Let me know, okay? I'll see you guys next time. Bye.